Alive are counting down to Wild Card weekend, which gets started Saturday with the Rams and the Panthers. Let's focus in on the night game Saturday, one of the NFL's oldest rivalries in the Packers, the Bears, these teams meeting up for just the third time in the postseason. Caleb Williams, of course, will try to lead Chicago to its first playoff win since the 2010 season. This, by the way, is Caleb's first ever playoff game. He's picked up his play over the last 4 weeks with 8 touchdowns to just 1 pick. And his off-target rate has dropped significantly. He's completing 50% of his throws into tight windows, about double what it was over the first 14 weeks of the season. He's been better. Williams and his head coach, Ben Johnson, spoke today about their collective playoff debut.
I'm encouraged for where he's at right now. I know he's really looking forward to this opportunity to go out there and, you know, he's played some really good football here, particularly in the back half of the season for us, and we're going to need that. We're going to need him at his best. We're going to need all of our players at their best, and I'm hopeful we're going to get that.
Me being the quarterback, having been as a coach, and then having the guys that we have, I've said it multiple times, we got a lot of guys that care and care about each other, but also care about winning. And you know, you put that tandem together, and you can do a lot. And you know, we've done a good job so far this year, but we got a lot more coming.
The great Courtney Cronin joins us now from Chicago. And Courtney, what has been the focus for Caleb Williams as he focuses and approaches his first playoff debut?
Well, Field, for Williams, it's keeping this game and approaching this game the same way that he does every game. And the reason that Ben Johnson has so much confidence that this moment won't be too big for Williams is because he said he's a completely different quarterback than he was when Johnson took over a year ago. So I asked Caleb Williams, what's different about you now? And he referenced becoming the single-season passing leader in franchise history, which, of course, happened last week against the Lions as a major sign of growth. And that ultimately his mindset and his confidence is as high as it's ever been, and that's what he's going to carry into this game to make sure that the Bears have that sense of urgency from the jump so they can get off to a faster start on offense. But it's not just Williams and Johnson who notice those things. I asked safety Kevin Byard about what he's seen from Caleb Williams, the difference from week 1 all the way to now, and he said that he's not having to put on his Superman cape throughout the entire game. Sure, he's capable of doing that, but the position that the play caller is putting him in, so it allows him to play freely throughout the game and not have to feel so tight and tense the way that he does in these late game situations, is a big reason for that. And to paraphrase Cole Kmet here, he said, maybe he's born with it, maybe he's just Caleb Williams, because we've obviously seen this now for 2 years. 6 comeback wins this year in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. That's the most by any team in NFL history. But Kmet talked about this happening last year. Yes, it didn't result in as many wins as this season, 11 wins for Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams in that first year together, but it's something that Kmet had seen for a long time with Caleb, and that's what the belief that he'll be able to bring that into this playoff game against the Green Bay Packers will be on Saturday.
Courtney, he has earned that nickname, the Iceman, Caleb Williams. By the way, Courtney, good luck to your Hoosiers on Friday. They look to march ahead to the College Football National Championship. Swagoo, it's a huge game.
All these people out of the blue claiming Indiana now. I didn't know the
she went there. She went there. She went there. She's a legit alum. That's okay. It's okay. She's allowed. We give Courtney her due on Indiana. Swagoo, third time these two teams played this year. Yeah, I hear you, Courtney. Don't worry. What's the key for this Bears offense against this Packers defense?
The Bears, between their two backs, have not went over 100 yards rushing in the last 2 weeks. And I know Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson is going to be the story of these playoffs, and they are going to have to be the reason that this team wins. But this run game has to get going, especially with this defense that they have that's prone to giving up plays, but also that are opportunistic in turnover. But I think when you look at Green Bay in their last outing, obviously against the Baltimore Ravens, there's areas to be had. And they've given up so many explosive runs and passes that I don't think that the Chicago Bears need to get drunk on making Caleb Williams the MVP of every single game if they have it going on the ground. So I think this rush game has to come back to what we expected it to be early in the season based on what they showed us.
A huge part of this game is who wins the double teams, and then who wins at the point of contact. That's going to determine really who can win and control this football game. If you go back to last time they played, initial line of scrimmage, Marcus, 1, what happens in the double team? Well, Green Bay loses that double team. That's 3 yards back now. But then watch the point of contact. Nixon comes up and makes contact right there. 9.5 yard line. That gets to the 15. So that's 4.5 more yards right there. You go a little bit later in the game. Starting point for this ball is about the 46-yard line. Who wins on this double team? Chicago? That's 3 yards of that double team getting pushed off the ball. I know it's hard. Point of contact for the back right around the 48-yard line, but where does he fall to? That's what these backs do such a good job of. That's 5 yards after that initial tackle starts. Crucial, late, fourth quarter. Ball's going to get snapped at the 32. Double teams 3.5 yards down the field. Green Bay's going to have to hold that double better, and then there it is again. Contact gets made at about the 27.5, but he falls forward for another 3+ yards. And so those yards, just think about those from the point of the tackle getting initially started. That's another first down on the drive, just from that. And so I know this is challenging. This is the challenge of playing this defense or offense, but I think for Green Bay, it's like, can somebody consistently hold on the doubles? And then when you hit those backs, you got to get them going backwards. They cannot consistently fall forward.
Probably not is what's going to happen. But here's the challenge for Green Bay, y'all. So we all love the Bears' run game. We've been highlighting how good it is. On first down, right, you're thinking, okay, got to stop the Bears' run game. The Bears actually pass at the 7th highest rate in the NFL on first down. They face so much base defense because teams are so terrified of them running on them, rightfully so. They throw on it constantly. And you remember that's how they won with DJ Moore in that one game. It was the Packers played base, play action, shot play over the top. And that's the challenge here for Green Bay. Can you stop the run on first down without selling out? They played a ton of base defense, meaning the 3 linebackers on the field, and they got both ran on and thrown on in this last game. But this is the way that the Bears offense, and frankly, most of the best offenses in the NFL, compromise you on first down is they make you so afraid of the run with their multiple tight ends that you end up ceding the pass, and that's going to be something Jeff Hafley's going to have to figure out.
Cannot wait for the rubber match on Swagoo? Dano, which one are you coming in here?
One thing I would say, D.O. and MK, because both of you are absolutely correct, is that I think the Chicago Bears are built to play the time of possession game.
Yeah, sure.
Especially with Caleb being able to create when you have to have a down. And I think that's the most important thing when they face the Packers. I think the Packers are going to have a tremendous amount of success offensively. How many possessions can you limit? How much can you keep the ball out of Jordan Love's hands? And if you can't run it, I'm afraid they're going to be one and done in the playoffs.
Well, a huge rubber match looms on Saturday night at Soldier Field, one of the great venues in all of sports. The Packers, of course, are without Micah Parsons after suffering that torn ACL, but progress is coming. Micah posted this to his Instagram story of himself on the bike, working with the Packers training and rehab staff.
There you go.
Micah, of course, is targeting a return in September of this upcoming season. For now, good to see him making some progress.
Hey, Michael.
Still to come here on NFL Live. After a season that raised more doubts than wins, the clock is ticking for the Giants to right their wrongs. Here's why Mina warns it could be harder than it looks. She'll explain that one next.